Long before things changed, in a world where the gods ruled, where everything was absolute, I didn't know what I was doing. I was wandering down a mountain where all the snow had melted. I remember it as clear as can be. A voice rang out when I had nothing left. I didn't know where I came from or where I was going. I was simply walking on instinct alone. It was strange, alien, but I didn't even understand how to express it. Instead, climbing down that mountain was the very first thing that existed to me. There was no me before that, and all the details of my origin. I thought I was just me. But there's two different disconnects. The person that existed before me, who found that blade atop that mountain, who caused all the snow to melt and the clouds to part and the sky to split in half. The stars themselves were nothing but blinking lights. They were nothing compared to the gravity of those voices. The voices that now were as affirmed, as real, as my own thoughts. I was different, changed. I was me. For better or worse, there were things that were different. The man who found that sword was not so kind. But there was elements that followed, elements that changed, and even some that still, even to this very moment, they feel so carnal, so real. But I'm sure you're wondering why I'm telling you this. Why? That's always the question. What, where, and why? I only know one of them. Where it all started. My reasons, they constantly develop. To change the world, to rescue it, to end the suffering, the war that's gone on long, long before me. The pain I feel for the suffering of my people. But are they my people? Doubt is something I feel, even if conviction overwrites it in a way that scares me. I want to be a hero. I want to be someone who makes them smile, who saves the world. Though I suppose it's more accurate to say I did want to be a hero. And I don't mean that in the dramatic way of somehow now I want to be a villain. No, it's nothing like that. If anything, it's completely the opposite. I just think what people consider a hero is unrealistic. In this day and age, things are different. In this world, there's only two things that matter. What is right to you, and what is right to the world. And when those two things don't coincide, there's a terrible conflict. I face that. To guard this world from multiple things, including the gods themselves. I don't know what would happen if I wasn't their vessel. If they were roaming, the world might just end. The changes, the pain, everything feels so surreal. As if I lose myself for a single moment, that I'll crumble. And sometimes I worry about that. That's why you've been the one that I've conveyed everything. The only one who knows my story. Not just the story of the man who found the sword. The story of the man who still doesn't know what he's doing. The vigilant defender of something he can't quite place. But why? Why is it we met each other? I wonder. Is it the fate that we're destined to? Is it because of that you found ways to... Yes, just like that. You always make me smile. It's almost criminal how easy it seems to be for you. I'm thankful. So thankful. Because I couldn't have stood any longer, being the only one who knows the story, other than my old friend and enemy now. I hate to say it, but I've made enemies with people I didn't mean to. Because sometimes it's impossible to silence the voices. They want what they want, and I struggle with it. Thankfully, it's only an issue with that. That one thing, what they deem as evil, is not always the same as me. It's an infinite struggle that I face. I'm glad that I can make so many people feel safe and sound, but I just doubt myself sometimes. About what comes next. About what's right. What's actually going to save the world. And is it really right to have a world where the dragons, the demons, the devils, everything, where they're just gone? It almost seems as though that world is more scary than this one. I don't want to lose my friends, but I have to play the role. I have to understand it. And the only way to get to the bottom of this is to truly fight. But hopefully we don't actually have to hurt each other. That's my hope, my dream, that I can find that peace without war. I only hope that I have that resolve to do so, to make things happen without shedding blood. You believe in me almost to a fault. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I love that you care for me as you do, and nothing will ever change how I see your kindness, your love, even if I've only met you a fortnight ago. It's strange. The world of time is bent for me. Not quite broken, because I'm aware of it, but it's so strange and difficult to tell when a day passes by in the blink of an eye, but another one lasts forever. I can never tell what's coming next, and I suppose I've made the best of it by seeing each day as a little adventure, and I'd like for you to join me on one. There's been some turbulence in a nearby village, and they've requested me personally, which should tell you that whatever fiend is terrorizing them, it's no simple feat to call them. I know what you're thinking, but I'd like to resolve this without violence. I know you hate to see me in that state when I lose myself to them. The voices get so loud and I can be so cruel. Yet I struggle with it. Sometimes it feels like the will of beings much greater than myself is intimidating, scary, almost terrifying. But you keep me sane. You help ground me ever since I found you back then. It was strange that it's only been such a small amount of time when you think about it, because we were trapped in an ever-looping moment for who knows how long, in that cave where time was as transient as each breath. I learned so much about myself and about you. I only wonder where we should go, what we should do. It's only mission to mission. It's easier for me that way. Sometimes it's too difficult if I think about it too much. I overwhelm myself and being the Grand Commander, I have a lot on my belt. Being a hero of soldiers and at the same time someone who handles everything on my own. Almost on my own. It's different now. It feels better knowing that you'll follow me, but I worry for your safety. I couldn't stand if I lost you. The small adventure that we had, by pure chance, that cave that we were taken to, the adventure was so bittersweet. But I prefer to focus on the sweet rather than the bitter. You know, it's strange to me. After what we've been through, that whole wrinkle in time or whatever you'd like to call it, experiencing that day so many different ways, it taught me something. I was too hasty with decisions I've made. Even if it's not entirely my fault, not every decision I make is with my own will in mind. Sometimes I'm at a loss because of them. Because everything is so jumbled and a mess that You're right. I shouldn't focus on that. And the more I do, the more they win. I should focus on being happy and trying to make others happy, right? It's difficult. The guilt I feel when I lose myself. I just hope that the peace meeting that comes next week, that it goes okay. I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to lose anything more than I already have. I'm sorry if this seems convoluted or empty or confused ramblings of someone who's lost his mind. But I guess we're all a little crazy sometimes, right? Don't worry about it. Hey, look at me. You've been the biggest help to me, more than you will ever know. In that day that we lived, I learned more about myself than 1,000 years, and that's not even exaggerating. I was stuck in a permanent continuum of monotony. I even started to feel less when I hurt others, because I thought it's what I was here for. It's why I was created. When that man grabbed the sword, I was born. But then I realized that's too simple. I was just simplifying it because I was scared, terrified even. I was worried because I felt if I denied my purpose, I denied my very existence, that there'd be nothing left to me at the end of the day. And hey, you don't need to worry, okay? I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. You've taught me to slow down. I know what I said, and I know I've been afraid of a lot of things, but fear will not guide my blade. This sword is a blessing and a curse all at once. But you are such an opposite feeling. There isn't a bittersweet with you. Even if times get difficult, I would much rather struggle with you than without. Whether we mesh or things are terrible, it doesn't matter to me. Hey, you should know this, that I don't always know what I should say to you. When I look in your eyes like this, my mind goes blank. Do you suffer the same ailment? Is it the same for you, doll? It's impossible for me to know unless you tell me. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. You absolutely were a blessing in my life. And I think whatever powers be that we were connected, by whatever curse that holds my arm to yours, our hands entwined, and our hearts. Even if there's much I need to learn from you, of you, much I wish to share to you, stories of endless monotony, even if it's something that you've heard 1,000,000 times, every time you smile, or at least you truly listen to me. Which is strange to say, but even though people listen to my words and they heed them, like I might as well be the gods that they're talking to, it feels strange. Like at the same time, my words mean nothing, because they only want to hear words from the gods through me, not actually my words. And it makes me so happy that you want to hear my words, my experiences, that I can be selfish for once, because I get tired of wielding this sword to determine, to judge, to decide who gets to survive and who doesn't. I don't want to be the Grim Reaper. No more do I want to be anything more than me. I just want to be me. And I'm happy to get that opportunity, even if it's just when we're together like this, alone. It's refreshing. It makes me so happy. My face glows every time, because I realize the light in my eyes isn't the starlight right now. It's the life you breathed into me by giving me this second chance at having a self. I realized as soon as I was born, it was endless. The selflessness that was promoted, the things that needed to be done, the passion that wasn't even my own. It was all a great big mess. And you might think that this is all an exaggeration, how much it means to me that you listen to my words, that you take them to heart. But it's not. It's not at all. I don't think I could ever go back to being numb. Since you've made me feel. I feel your fingers through mine, your hand, the warmth of it. Well, a little cold right now. Let's change that. There's nothing to worry about right now. You have me protecting you. And if I'm priding myself on one thing, it's that I'm very good at protecting, or at least slaying anything that would do you harm. My guilt, yes, I'm okay. Please don't worry. I'm doing absolutely everything I can to face myself, shamelessly, and to strengthen my willpower so that I might even be able to contain them completely. I know this might be sacrilegious, but still, I don't care if I get to be myself. What I sacrifice, so long as I have you. It may be strange, but it's not desperation that drives me. It's pure, unbridled passion. Passion to want to be with you endlessly. And passion to want to have someone to share this long eternity with. I know it was long ago, but still, the monotony of eternity isn't something I want to face alone, and especially not with the company of heartless beings who see only their own selfishness as justice. I know what I've said in the past and the fanatical ways I've done. I still do believe in them to a certain extent. I don't hate them. I just wish to be free of them. That way, if there's conflict, they don't use me as their tool. I don't wish to be anyone's sword. Unless it's yours. Wait, that's it? Why didn't I think of that in the first place? Okay, here. You hold the sword. You can knight me, right here and now, and I'll swear myself to you, sort of like a promise that I can never break, even if I have to fight against the gods for our love, for my promise to you. I wish to know what you think of this. Careful, the sword's quite heavy, but I promise the weight of it won't be as heavy as the promise, because I wish it to be light as a feather. But I know there might be difficulties that we face, unending, and even if that is the case, I swear to be your knight, and only your knight. Be it god or devil, none will stand in my way. I will protect you. On my honor, on my everything, I will never let you down. I, Izuku Midoriya, will not ever abandon this promise. I swear it on my soul, since I cannot give my life. I swear it on my heart, that I would rip it out sooner than I would break yours. I pledge under the stars to keep my promise to you forever. This eternity we face, we shall do so together. Do you accept my pledge? That was completely... I didn't think you'd do that. I didn't expect it either. You're supposed to say I do instead of... You know what? I'll accept that for now. I suppose that's the most different way I've ever been knighted before. Though I'm not at all complaining. If anything, it's a memory I'll never forget. No matter what trials we face, no matter what we're put through, I will see my promise through. And hopefully along the way, we can make more promises. I'd like to make more with you, though I can only think of embarrassing ones to promise right now. Promising my firsts to you. No, I've already given most of those. Perhaps a promise to experience something new with you, and every new thing we can reminisce about, like we're as ancient as the stars. Somehow I look forward to it. An eternity trapped with you in this world as our cage. A prison, but one that we make our own. I think that flesh may be a prison, one that makes us this way. And yet, I don't mind never escaping it. Maybe someday, we'll be able to reach out and touch the stars right here, even as we lay across this grass and look up at them. Perhaps we can converse with the moon, meet them, and make friends with each star in the sky. I'm sure we'd never get bored. Maybe eternity would end before we could get it all done, but I'd like to take that bet. That maybe, just maybe, we could reach each and every one of them. Maybe we could fly through the sky as if we had wings, like angel wings flying about. I wonder, doll, what is it you wish for? Such a simple wish to fulfill, and yet at the same time, not simple at all. If it looks as though I'm flushed, it's simply not the case. I could do no lies to you. So I must confess, my misdirection was due to my own embarrassment. I just can't handle what you do. No matter what it is, you continually catch me off guard. And just when I've thought I've seen everything you have to offer, you constantly remind me that's not the case by doing something like you've done. You'd think I'd fall for it less, being that this could be hundreds of times that I've fallen for it, but who cares? If I am to be a fool, then I wish to be your fool. If I am to be a protector, a hero, then I wish to be yours and yours alone. I've made a great many failures in my life, but I will not let us and this moment, this promise, and this oath be one of them. I refuse to stumble and fall, and if I do, I will get up 1,000,000 times. 1,000,000 times 1,000,000 still wouldn't be enough. To express my gratitude, my elation, that we get to experience what we do today 1,000,000 times over. And even then, perhaps 1,000,000 is only just a small number. There's so much more that I wish so very much that I'll take my time, cherish. Look at me. That's it. Don't fall ill to the sickness of my shy behavior, and don't think I'll let it own me. I can show you. There are two sides to every coin, but I will be the coin that buys every piece of happiness I can for you. The blade which ends your doubts, and the hilt which you can always hold. I have a bit of an embarrassing request. Would you mind terribly if I held you in my arms just like this? If I kissed you deeply once more? I would give everything just for this moment, and yet still the next comes. But I don't regret it, because so long as the moments, the passage of time continues, so long as I have you, I am not scared. I do not fear it. So long as I have these lips as my own, so long as I have this smiling face looking back at me, those eyes basked in starlight, I will never lament. Instead, I will celebrate in such jubilance that the whole world will follow suit, that no one will lose their smile ever again. I know that one is unreasonable, but you give me enough courage to wish for things so unrealistic, so whimsical, so dreamlike, that I don't regret trying. I won't regret anything. And while I try, won't you try alongside me? To share every intimate detail of your heart, every kiss, every time you wish to hold me. Won't you swear to do so? I want this to be a connection beyond even what the gods could imagine. I want them to fear what we have, to the point where they cower like small animals, afraid that our love will make us transcend every boundary, every wish that anyone else ever had. And to that end, I wish to see nothing more than you. You are many things, but above all those to me, you are my love. And I'm very proud to be in this moment, honored and so happy. So thank you. And chin up so I can kiss you. Sometimes it's so embarrassing talking about feelings and stuff, but with you it's different. I actually feel a little proud to be able to share in moments like this with you. It makes me feel accomplished, like I'm more than just an attempted knight, that I'm more than just a vessel, more than just something to hold, but rather someone to hold. I'm glad I found you, and I'm glad you found me too. In fact, it's very amazing that we're able to enjoy all that we do together. I love you so much, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world, if I do say so myself. I know I've given up living a normal life the day I was born. But even if we live an obscure one that nobody else understands, I want to live it with you. No one else will do. And besides all that, besides what everyone could say, I don't care about their words. I didn't swear my life to them. I didn't swear my time and my soul and so many things more precious than could be for anyone else. It was all for you, and it was always meant for you. That's what fate decreed, and I can tell this is only the start. We will have so many times that are worth mentioning, memories to hold dear, and I'll never let you forget them. I'll make sure, no matter what happens between us, we grow, and we feel, and we live the best lives we can until the stars go out, and we go to sleep, and wake up to a new day. I'll continue. And even then I'll continue, because nothing can or will ever stop my love for you. I'm so happy to have you as my own, and I'm so proud to be your man, as embarrassing as that is to say. I'm happy you're mine. And don't you forget it.